How's it going, everybody? Fully Baked here, and I'm a Yakuza games addict. So, I really like the Yakuza series. I think it has fantastic characters, a really interesting story, fantastic gameplay, really good side quests and minigames. Overall, I think it's just a really good series. One thing that I think it particularly nails is the combat music, which is a weird thing to mention, but I do think it nails it. The music definitely helps bolster the combat's memorability in some cases, so I figured it was worth talking about. And what better way to talk about an entire series worth of music than to rank it all? Of course, because Yakuza is a pretty big series, I couldn't just do this alone. So, to help me rank all the Yakuza standard battle themes, I brought along Smoky Beef Productions.
Thanks, Fully Baked. Like he just said, my name is Smoky Beef Productions, but you can just call me Smoky, Smoky Beef, whichever floats your boat. I don't really care. If you recognize me from anywhere, it is most likely my Yakuza character ranking video. It's actually really funny that I'm doing a collab specifically on the music of the Yakuza games, because I was streaming recently and people were talking about the fight themes, and I originally said I didn't really care for a lot of the fight themes, specifically Yakuza Zero's. However, in the making of this video and having to listen through every single one of the themes in the mainline series, I had an opinion change, let's just say that. I don't want to spoil anything. So, I'll pass it back over to Fully Baked so he can continue the list properly.
Thank you, Smokey, but we haven't started the list yet. He sent me this clip without context that I was going to be putting it before the actual list started, so my apologies, Smokey. But anyway, let's get into all the Yakuza standard battle themes ranked. That take sucked, but I won't do it again, because screw y'all.
So, songs have build-ups and tend to have switches and changes in them. So where's the change for Ryukyu humming? Every time I listen to this song, even in preparation for making this video, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what just happened? And that's the issue. Nothing does really happen. The song does nothing to keep me engaged. I sense a little switch in the song at a certain point, but it's not enough for me to go, hey, that's pretty good. If there's one thing your fighting music shouldn't do, it's bore the player. And unfortunately, that's what this song does. That's why it's at the bottom of the list. It's boring.
Gonna be honest, there's just something about this theme that doesn't fit with Saejima. Sure, it'd be easy to compare this theme to his theme from 4, but even taking that out of the equation, this theme just doesn't work for a character that controls like Saejima does. For being this huge, hulking gorilla of a man whose entire gimmick is that he's just a massive powerhouse, this theme is really tame. Even if it wasn't for the character that it's for, it's just kind of slow and sluggish and doesn't really feel like a proper battle theme, especially not one I'd listen to on the regular.
While we aren't looking at the original Yakuza 2 Push Me Underwater, which goes by a similar name in the remake, I think both fall under the same issue of, like the last couple songs, nothing really happening. However, compared to when I was talking about Ryukyu humming, I think a lot more is happening, but nothing is done with it. It has this really nice reverb at the middle part of it that I really like. But other than that, it starts off too slow, I think. Compared to when you're in Sotenbori listening to Outlaw's Lullaby, you're right into the action, like it doesn't matter. You just go straight into it. With Push Me Underwater, there's a bit more of a delay to the song and you have to wait a little bit, and with how strong you are in Kwami 2, you might never get to hear it. And I think this next song also struggles with the same issue, as I've mentioned before.
How I feel about Parry Addiction is actually kind of how I feel about Rush in Zero. It's okay, I guess. It definitely works for the theme, that being fast-paced attacks and dodges, but it doesn't really have much going beyond that. It never feels like it evolves past its simple structure, with the exception of the synth during the bridge. It's pretty good, and I definitely vibe with that, but it's nothing I'd call special, and it kinda suffers from similar issues that the last couple of songs faced.
You guys like techno, right? No? Well, too bad, we got techno now. In the original Yakuza, the Funk Goes On had a more underworld feel, as was the original point of the game. You played as a criminal beating up people. But with Yakuza Kiwami basically being an expansion of Zero, and that being more techno-y, they decided to take inspiration from that and make the Funk Goes On more techno-y. Much faster pace than the original, which works for this game because of, well, how much faster it is compared to the original. Now, I know we're not comparing the original with the remake. Personal preference, I tell you, I think I like the Funk Goes On in Yakuza 1 more than I like the Kiwami. That's not to diss Kiwami's Funk Goes On, though. I still think it does what it wants to do, and I think it does it very well. Compared to the other songs on this list, not so much.
Similar to Parry Addiction insofar that I feel it kinda struggles to evolve. Unlike other songs with leitmotifs, I don't really find the leitmotifs in this song strictly engaging. It's definitely a great vibe, and halfway through the song once it introduces guitars, it definitely changes for the better. Overall though, while I do kinda like it, it's definitely got the Hailstorm slowness problem, keeping it back from true greatness.
Anybody can become a legend, but to be a myth, that takes time. That's what the song does. It takes its time. And then it gets into it and it punches you in the fucking molars. After about 16 seconds, the song really takes off. It gains a tremendous amount of speed and bass, and then even further in the song, it picks back up again, but then you start hearing voices. Oh my gosh, those voices add so much to the song. But alas, there is only one problem with this song. It's got to compete with 3 other songs, and compared to them, it doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, you're looking at Infinite Handcuffs, Speed Star, and Massive Fire. I like The Myth, but compared to those 3, and unfortunately, it never stood a chance.
Okay, now things are getting really good. Crash Addiction is the quintessential large man with a large weapon song in this franchise, at least in my opinion. Massive Fire is great, but there's something so guttural about this song that I can't see it as anything other than the ideal crap kick and tune. Standard rates apply though, so it does have a tendency to chug a little bit, and it's not as consistent as I'd like, but it's definitely still a fun time when this one comes on.
Force Addiction, the unrefined Dragon of Dojima, and kinda OG Receive You. Every time I listen to this song, it gets a little better. I thought at first I didn't really like it because I thought it was just boring compared to the other ones, but no, I realized it's actually really good. It starts off a little slow, but then you get into that like 20 to 50 second phase, and oh my gosh, it starts jamming, gets you hyped, ready to fight. A force to be reckoned with, you could say. While not as refined as some of the other songs on this list, that's the point. It's the OG Dragon of Dojima style. And I think a lot of the heat actions fit with that. You'll be Superman punching people, you'll be kneeing them in the arm and then punching them in the face, slamming them into walls, gut punching them, headbutting people. It's unrefined, it's brawler, it's a street fight. And who doesn't love to watch a good street fight?
I know some people who are going to argue that this should be way higher, and in my defense, this franchise just has a lot of good music. Slugger somehow conveys this aura of destruction that doesn't come easy with a lot of songs in this franchise. There's this inherently destructive tone that fits perfectly for the motif of a song based entirely around the question, what if we made Shinada more dangerous? Ultimately, while it's not perfect, I don't think there could be a better theme to fit the vibe of Slugger style.
I actually think Hailstorm is a really good thing.
Shut the fuck up, Massive Fire is infinitely better. If you want guitar, this is the song for you. And honestly, I don't even really think I need to talk much about this song. This song kicks ass. And if you know the segment that I'm about to talk about, which you already do, I'm not even gonna say anything. Just play the clip, and you'll know what I mean. The song isn't called Massive Fire because of all the destruction you leave everywhere. It's called Massive Fire because of the amount of incinerations and cremations needed for all the bodies left unchecked in the streets of Kamurocho.
Honestly, Flirt with Bomb is what I'd call the quintessential battle theme across the entire Yakuza series. It's fast-paced, it's energetic, it has some good instrumentation, it goes pretty hard, and definitely not a disappointment to hear when random thugs think the man in the suit with the Yakuza pin is an appropriate target for a pent-up rage. This one serves as the baseline, a perfect 7 or 8 out of 10 song that I use to judge pretty much every other battle theme.
How do I always end up back in this damn city? Well, with themes like Kamuro, again, I would have never left the city in the first place, but that's just me personally. Now, some songs later in this list might show some more animosity, some more aggressiveness, whatever. You want to talk about just being a menace? Kamuro again. This song exudes such a I am so sick of your shit feeling. It's amazing. I'm serious. This is the song where Q's like, I am fucking done. Please leave me alone or you're not waking up in the next couple days. And that isn't like a, oh man, it's in like a specific part of the song. No, it's literally from the very start to the very beginning. It feels like you just awoke something that will never be put back to sleep, which is ironic considering how the game starts. But that's just, Obviously though, there is a much better Yakuza 6 fight theme. We'll get to that eventually though, don't you worry.
When Kiryu left the PS2, he evolved not only graphically and gameplay-wise, but his music took a great upgrade with the newly christened Bruise. What Bruise has that I think works so well is this sense of badassery and intimidation. When this thing comes on, it's a sign that a fight is going to go down, with you at the helm of destruction. That guitar is killer, the vibes of the song just slap, and overall, it's one of the most effective battle themes in the franchise. I just wish it was in a better game, you know what I mean?
How ironic. The baseball man has the most baseball sounding theme. Well, that's what I would say until we get to the later half, but I'll get to that. To me, this song gives a very minigame-esque vibe to it. I love that it's really carefree, juvenile, kind of crazy, which is, I mean, if you look at Shinada and the shenanigans he gets up to, it's no wonder. But then it's like you get to that middle part and you start hearing these riffs. Oh, the riffs. I feel like I'm hearing voices in like the middle half. You start going crazy, which, I mean, Shinada is the most brawler character in this series. Bro ain't got no special techniques, he ain't got massive amounts of strength like Saejima, but he's got the goddamn will to get her done. And that's what this theme shows me. He's a little crazy, but he's got what it takes to get it done. Speaking of a little crazy, have you ever tried fighting somebody while dancing?
I don't know why I find Majima's themes go so much harder than Kiryu's, as you'll see from this point onward, but I'm so glad they do. For a style like Breaker, this song works perfectly. Such an immaculate vibe, such an amazing feel to the rhythm and rhyme. This right here is something that I'd legitimately dance to, and I might kill some people to it as well. With dancing, obviously. There's not much to say, it's just a fantastic song. Okay, how are we not even in the top 10 yet?
Well, I'll be. Looks like you can teach an old dog new tricks. Or in this case, a new dog new tricks. But you get what I'm saying, shut up. This is the theme where, and I hate the fact that I'm saying this, Majima finally got that dog in him, and I'm talking for real. Bro said, fuck it, I'm killing people for real. A knife, bro? Are you serious? And this theme, I'm telling you, 3 heat bars, instant heat action right off the bat, it will sink every time. This theme combines Breaker's insanity to style on people in a fight, Slugger's ferocity to crack people's heads open, and Thug's tenacity and dirty fights tactics just to get ahead, all into one, and it works beautifully. If your hairs aren't raising on the ends of your skin while you listen to that beat drop, you're not alive.
Shame you don't play as Majima in Like a Dragon, because this song would have 100% been his Breaker theme. On the topic of songs with immaculate vibes, this one really works for the setting. In a city like Kamurocho with its consistent craziness, corruption, and combat, you want a theme to complement it all. And to a damn T, that's what Ascension Point does. The synth is aggressive, the drums are well placed, and overall this is probably my second favorite battle theme in this game.
Come on, One-Eyed Assassin. Majima doesn't kill people. The only thing getting killed in this game is the soundtrack, and One-Eyed Assassin murders. I'd argue no other theme in this series gives the feeling of dirty, gritty, scummy feeling than One-Eyed Assassin. And it fits, because all the moves feel really cheap. You'll be hitting people in the back of the head, you'll be neck chopping them, you'll be poking their eyes. It's all what a thug would do, a brawler, if you will. You're fighting cheap and dirty, you're slimy, you're slinky, you're trying to move out of the way. It's great, and it explains the style extremely well, just through the music. What separates One-Eyed Assassin from all the other Yakuza 0 fight themes is that it's not about power, it's not about being stylish, and it's not about brute force. It's about being scummy, taking advantage at every chance you get, because you're not bigger than them, but you're smarter than them.
I can't believe it took us this long to get to an Akiyama theme, but damn the wait was worth it. Speedstar serving as his first theme is excellent, and serves as a perfect showcase of his undeniable OP-ness in Yakuza 4. Crack isn't enough to describe it. This stuff is like pure concentrated adrenaline-laced meth. The freaking drums, man. The whistle sound, the speed, everything culminates in a song that, in truth, could only ever be called Speedstar.
Have you ever wanted to listen to a song where it felt like the orchestra was going to fall apart at any moment? No? Well, too bad, because that's what Infinite Handcuffs does, and it sounds amazing. Now, I can't remember exactly who said that, because I was referencing somebody. I want to say it was Snowy Angerman, who said it felt like the orchestra was falling apart at almost every moment but still managing to hold itself together. And that's a perfect way to describe this song. It's one of the few songs in the series I could describe as a roller coaster song. I know where it starts, but I never know where it's gonna go. But I do know how it's gonna end. And that's with me listening to it about 30 more times when this video gets done.
You'll know when Kiryu is pissed. Not through his gameplay aspects or anything like that, but when this queues up, you know things are gonna get bloody. Kiryu is legit awesome in 5, so this theme unknowingly complements that, and that's fantastic, and is something Hailstorm should have done. The guitars are fantastically crunchy, it's fast-paced, brutal, and overall, the second best theme in 5.
Through fighting your way through the Tojo clan, to fighting the same old man 5 times over, almost dying to an assassin, and almost committing a murder that would change your life forever, does not grant you the title of Dragon of Dojima. That actually would be the real estate business. Finally, the true first canonical appearance of the Dragon of Dojima style. And because this is the 80s, we gotta make it a bit funky, you know, give it some techie vibes. And ooh boy, does it get techie. It's called tech trance for a reason. Hearing this, oh, it'll put you in a trance, alright. There have been many different variations of Receive You. This one is probably up there as one of the best. Oh, and when you get to that rift near the end of it, oh my gosh, it is amazing. There is only one question to be asked when you hear this theme. So, you ready for me? Then step the fuck up, it's time to die.
So, when we were ranking this list, we had to make some compromises. The toughest one for me being Lullaby of Outlaws, which, if you don't know, is my favorite theme in the entire series. As a jazz head, there's something so electrifying about the song in both Kiwami 2 and Like a Dragon. The drums are unlike any other theme, the switch to a more jazz-oriented sound feels right at home, and overall, I love this song as everything. Of course, we compromised to move it down. As for Smokey's favorite, though...
You want to talk bangers? Look at my personal favorite song, Town Bully. While it may be one of the shortest, if not the shortest songs on this list, do not let that fool you. Town Bully is ferocious. Town Bully is malicious. Town Bully rocks, both literally and metaphorically. Literally, because your head will be rocking back and forth to the sick beats. And metaphorically, for all the heads you will be rocking together as they crash to the floor. I mean, come on. The song is called Town Bully for a reason. You're in a new town, and you're here to bully all those who don't know your name. The Dragon of Dojima. While personally this may be my favorite song, I can't deny the beauty of the final song on this list. This song has a great effect on a lot of people. And if you'd argue otherwise, why don't you fight me on it?
As if there was any doubt about the number one, Affected Fight is just straight up flawless and arguably, hell, inarguably, the best theme in this franchise. The mixing is incredible, it goes so indescribably hard, the guitar and bass work well together to form this infectious melody, and that middle part. Oh my god, that middle part. So yeah, between the two of us, Akiyama Circa 5 has the overall best battle theme in the Yakuza franchise, barring our own personal favorites, of course. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you had a good day before, during, and after you watched this video. Toodaloo.